Hey, welcome back. So it's about time we created that delete function. Yes. Okay, so delete function should be simple because it's just a query we're running, which is pretty straightforward. We just have an ID that we are given, and then everything else should run exactly the same. Now, I think the find all is more like the query we want to create. So I'm going to duplicate this. So Control-Shift-D, duplicate. So instead of find all, we say delete. Okay, so the query goes like, we will need an ID here, of course. Now, if you want to improve your coding style here, we know that ID is going to always be an integer, but not really, not always. But if you know, you can just say int like that to make sure it's always cast as an integer. That way, if you supply a non-integer, then all hell will break loose. It's going to stop running the script. That way you can fix that problem. So if we will always be giving it an int or an ID, this is fine. Then you can also give the return value of a function. So in this case, we are returning either true. I think we just return true or false. We are not returning any results from a delete. But if you were, you would write something like mixed value that you're going to return. Or if you're not returning anything, you can write void, because you're not returning anything. Here we're going to return a boolean, so we'll write boo like this. This is just a more object-oriented version of functions or methods. Okay, but you can do this with ordinary functions as well. Just helps to be strict with how you type your code. So what I'm going to do here is, let's say instead of select, we know it's delete, so it's delete from this table. That's fine. We are not ordering by anything. We are looking for a where clause, right? So this order, this limit, this offset, none of this matters. We'll say from table, and we'll say where ID is equal to ID, like that, and we'll say limit 1. Okay, great. And then we run this query. Now we don't need any result at all from this. We'll just return false or true if you want. It doesn't really matter because this doesn't really do anything. You might want to run some functions after delete. You can create some after delete functions as well, but I don't think we'll be using any of these in this particular course. But if you were, you would change this to after delete, and then put some functions in the after delete variable in your model, just like we do. Where are other model examples? Like here, after select, you'd create another one before update or after, whatever it is. So let's remove this like that. So this is our delete function. Now in case, wait a minute, property exists. Okay, so we didn't add a way to find the primary key automatically, so we will do that. Hopefully I don't forget. Okay, so delete from table where ID is equal to ID. Of course, we need to add an array here that says ID, and then put that ID there. All right, that's good. So with that in mind, it should work here. So let's just go back, take a step back. This is what we have. So let me click delete. And there you see the thing is gone. Course deleted successfully. Okay, this is pretty cool. Now with what we have here, everything working here, we can just transform this into a categories add, edit, and delete, because we have everything here. We have delete, we have edit, we have new. So we can make use of that. In fact, the new thing here is pretty cool because it's got a small footprint which we want to use. I want to go to categories here. Yes. So we just have a few columns. In fact, the only column that the user should add is just category and disabled. Whether the thing is enabled or disabled, Slag will be automatically generated. So we don't need to worry about that. So let's make sure we can do that here by first creating a link to, instead of my courses, let's see, categories. Course categories, maybe we can call that, or let's just call it categories. So what I want to do is go to the views side of the admin section. So this is admin section, admin header, and yes, let's go down to where we have, I don't know what all this is. We should go through it and delete as needed. But there we go, we have our menus here. So there's my courses, and let's grab this and duplicate it and change this to category. Categories, yes. So here let's do category. Right. Okay, so let's refresh, and there we go, category. So we can change our icon. We'll figure out what icon to change that to. Oh, this is Bootstrap icons, right? I think I know Bootstrap icons. Should be one called list. Should be good enough. Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay, so when I click on this, it should take me somewhere, but we don't have that. So that's because in our controller, we don't have a one that deals with categories. So I'm just going to duplicate the courses version. Quite a lot of code we're not going to use, but strumo, we're just going to copy this, all of it. Where it starts, where is it? So we can type less. So courses, Ctrl+Shift+D, duplicate. So let's get the second version. Let's leave the one on top. And this one will be categories, like this. And now I should have, yeah. So it looks like courses because it is loading the courses view at the very bottom here. Let's see that. Let's go down here, and right about there, let's change that to categories. And of course, we need to create that view. So there's courses view. Let's copy everything from courses view as well, and right click, new, paste, save. Save that to, and I click on that. Let's save that to categories. Categories.view. Okie dokie. Very good. Now I refresh, everything still looks the same, but let's change things up. Let's switch things up a bit. Let's go up here. And let's see. New course, right? Let's select every instance of this. Make sure that when you're selecting, case sensitive is selected so we don't end up changing what we don't want to change. Let's say category. This is weird, new category, because Pro is weird like this. Okay, so my categories, let's make sure that's okay. We're on my categories, and if I click on my courses, it's there, it is, category. So this is not for, this is for the admin, so it's just going to be categories like this. All right, very cool. Now let's change the table a little bit. In categories, all we need is the category title, the category itself, category. Let me swap these guys. Okay. And then we need to know whether it's active or not active, because those are the only folders that we have. And then what else? The slug. And that's it, really. And then we have the action thingy, but let's delete the rest of this. Okay, cool. Then let's go to the rows here and let's see. Okay, for now I'll leave it be and let's refresh. Categories, category, active, slag, action. Okay, cool. But what's in here is different. So let's read something different from the admin. Let me move this here since we're just dealing with these guys. So this is the thing, and instead of course it should be category. So I'm just going to say category like that. And what we are looking for really is anything that's enabled. So I'm going to say where disabled is equal to 0. That should be enough, like that. Okay, and then we have to instantiate category. Let's make sure it is instantiated. This is categories right there, and it is right because we literally instantiated everything here. Okay, pretty good. Now it's what's in here that matters. So let's match back to categories view. So the ID will stay. There's no title, so this should change to category. And then there's no image at all. Let's remove that. There's no user role whatsoever. This one is whether it's active or not. So it's disabled. That's the column name. And if it's new, disabled will either have a 0 or 1. So let me just put a thingy here that will say if it's disabled, which is true, then it's not active. So I'll put no and then full colon, put a yes over there. Let's capitalize that. Okay, very good. So that's for the active. Slug, definitely just slug. Nothing special there. Let's do this. Okie dokie. And then action. So the rest of this, not important at all. Save. So let's come back here and see what we've got. Very nice. Look at that. So active, yes. Slug, there we go. Edit and delete. Very cool. And the category name right there. So here we can click on new category. If I click, this is what I get. Very good. But you saw when I went back, it took me to a whole different place. If I click on that, I go different as well. But let's start with the new thingy. So if I click here, it's courses add. That's a link. So let's change that as well. So instead of course here, let me just select every instance of the word. No, this may actually backfire. So upload course image, blah blah blah. Okay, so let me not get carried away. Let me go to the view section. Oh, I hope this doesn't make you dizzy. Okay, there we go. What I want is to change here where it's the add. So say categories / add. That should go as well for these guys. Okay, very cool. So let me refresh that and click on new category, and then we have new category there. So category title, and we just need this to say active, yeah or nay. That's it. You know, none of this, and we don't need that as well. So let's go to the view. We're still in the categories view. Let's go up over here, and this is the add section, right? So new category there. That's cool. But there's no title. Let's change every reference to a title. Let's change it to category, like that, because that's what is in the database. Okay. And the one in the middle here, which is primary subject, we don't need that. Then there's this part here, which will say select active. Yeah, we just have yes or no, so we're not going to focus on this. Let me remove these options. Let me do this. The value on one of these will be 0, the other one will be 1. So let's start with yes and no. So actually, let me make the yes the default one. Let me remove selected here. That way it's always active. So actually it's the opposite. This column is called disabled. So if it's disabled, it's not active. So I guess that should suit that. And then here, let's change this name to disabled. We don't need that. How about this? What did I do here? Oh, I see. If there are errors or something, let's put disabled, but there won't be errors here anyway. So I don't think we need this at all. Let me remove that. Close that back. Okay. All right, so we won't be having errors here at all either. So out. This is optional, an optional value. But here we might. So I'll leave that there. Come back. Refresh. Okay, so category title. I'll just say category. Let's put name or title or whatever. Okay, so once we save, this should save in the database. Now, in order for this to work in the add, let's go back to admin, and everything here remains the same, but when we add, we go here. And categories is equal to category find all. We don't really need this. No. Out. So instead of course, this should be category, right? So let me just select all this. Let's say category, like that. This one should be plural IES, like that. Okay. Here we're just going to redirect to this, just one side. We are not doing anything else here. We don't want to, your category was successfully created. That's fine. We don't want to read from the database after we capture it, we get it. We don't need any of this date, user ID, or price ID. But what we may need is, in case the value, no, I think this is fine. We just don't need any of this. So this is all we need. If there are any errors, we'll capture them, and that's it. So back here, let's try this out. Let me just save. So nothing was saved. We don't have any errors either, which is not cool. Let me go to the category model. Let me just make sure that the validation works. So category is required if it's empty, and okay. So everything is fine here, but we're not seeing any errors. So I'm assuming we just don't have a way to capture them. Okay, so errors is here. Errors there. Okay, so that isn't the thing. Data errors. Okay, so what I want to do is, wait, is it inserting anything new? Maybe it is. Let me just click here to confirm. Nope, it didn't. Okay, that's cool. What I want to do is see what's going on here. So just say show what's in errors in case there are errors, so that we know. So save. Okay, seems like the view is disturbing, so let's die. Okay, so that's an empty array. Let problem is it's getting here, but it's not passing through here. Okay. Okay, so I just want to see what's inside the post variable. Okay, so there's an empty category and there's disabled, which is 0. So everything is fine here. But why isn't it getting to this point? So let me cut this and paste here just to know that it's not going through there, and it's not. So which means there's something that isn't working here in the validate. So where are we? Category. Okay. What's going on? Come on. Okay, validate true, false. Okay, here the validation doesn't seem to be working well either. So let's do this. These errors. Let me just show there and die. Let's refresh. Okay, category is required. So there is errors coming back. So why are we not capturing them? What am I missing here? Oh, sorry, I'm using a different, capturing from a different model altogether. Okay, this should work. So if I do that, then I get a category is required. Okay. Let's just type some category so we can delete it later and save. Okay, category is successfully created, and there we go. But there's no slug here, so not cool at all. So to fix that problem, let's just create a slug. So I guess I needed those things I deleted. Yeah, I guess I did. Could have used them. So I'll just say post slug, let me create it, is equal to, we use that function string to URL, and in there we're just going to add whatever the category name is, like that. So category, like so. That should solve the problem. So let's add a new category, try to save, nothing. Let's just say another category and let's save it. This one now has a slug, so everything is working as intended. But we need to be able to delete and edit these guys.